Hey guys, FormulaXbox here, and welcome to highlights of FormulaXbox Season 7, Round 4 here in Russia at the Sochi Autodrome. And the reason there's been no highlights from Round 1, 2 and 3 is because I'm only a reserve in this league, so I'll only be racing the odd race. And also, this race was on the 15th of April, and today I'm commentating it is the 21st of July, so I'm a tiny bit late with the highlights, obviously. As you well know, my YouTube uploading is pretty horrendous, just like my turn 2 there. So yeah, I'm a reserve for this league, so just a bit of fun. And also, it's worth noting, when I did this race, it was literally the day I come back from holiday in Malaysia. So, one, I hadn't played the game for 2 weeks, and two, I was slightly jet lagged. So, if the driving isn't amazing in this race, there's my excuses straight up. But yeah, our first sector's been pretty poor, mainly because we absolutely bottled turn 2. But I was just hoping to get in a decent lap, top 5 on the grid, but that's going to be difficult around this lap, this track, because people corner cut. So, as long as we can be reasonably competitive in the race, I'll be pretty happy with this one. So, the middle sector's been better, and our delta's now back in the green, despite being 2 tenths down in sector 1. So that's quite annoying, because we just couldn't put a lap together where we got all the sectors right, due to our lack of consistency, having not played the game, which is unfortunate, but oh well, we get another attempt after this one. But coming into sector 3 now, our delta's well in the green, and we're looking to be improving quite nicely there as we take that corner. Okay, Ollie Bob puts it on pole, nicecornercut.com/qualiban for the next race. And we're going to come through the final corner now and across the line for a 1 minute 36.6, which is alright, but I know I can go much faster than that. So this is our final attempt at the lap. There's only 1 minute 50 left in the session, and we don't have fuel for a second lap. So we're going to go for this lap. Hopefully we can improve it down to a 0.4 or a 0.3, because I really feel that that kind of lap time is possible. As you can see at the moment, we're sitting down in P5, but we want to improve that grid position slightly as we head down towards turn 1, getting the car turned in nicely. We've nailed that, and that's turn 2, sorry, but we absolutely nailed that, keeping it on the white line as we now head through turn 3. As you can see, our delta is fantastic. We're almost 3 tenths up now as we head down towards turn 4. Can we get this breakdown nicely down into third gear, picking up the power? We've lost it on the white line. We're into the wall, and that's GG, which is quite frustrating because that was a very good first sector and had an opportunity to be a great lap. As you can see, we qualified 5th. Ollie Bob got pole, but his lap got deleted for corner cutting. So Sinan got pole in quali points. Midget 3rd and Luke 4th also got their laps deleted for corner cutting. So I got 2nd on the grid in terms of quali points, and Casey got 3rd. If you want to have a look at the full qualifying results, go back and pause it. But as you can see, rain is going to occur at the end of the race. It's only looking like light rain, and it might come very late on in the race. So that thing isn't always accurate, but if it does come right at the end of the race, you might question whether it's worth using the inters. We'll have to wait and see. Apparently I could change my setup again, which is always good. Just looking at the strategy now, not much to do there really. Easy one stop if it's dry, but it'll be interesting to see if we go onto the super softs for a second stint, or the softs, depending on when the rain's coming. We're heading off for the formation lap now, and I was quite nervous going into this one. Obviously hadn't done a league race for nearly 3 weeks, because the last race I'd done was 2.5 weeks ago. So I was hoping not to crash. I was just hoping to finish really and have fun. That was my main aim for today, and as you can tell by the video length, it was quite a fun race. So yeah, coming towards the end of the formation lap now, and we're going to go inside the mighty midget there. That is exactly what you want when preparing for a race. Meanwhile, Ollie Bob and Sinan are inside each other there. I'm sure Ollie Bob was enjoying that. As we now come around the final corner to park up on the grid, and hopefully we can get off to a good start. The run down to turn 2 can often cause crashes in league races. I've been in multiple league races where there's been carnage before we even get to the first braking zone, so hopefully we don't have any of that today, and we can avoid damaging our car. But anyway, we have the lights coming on now. We have 4 lights, and now we have 5, and it's lights out and away we go for the Russian Grand Prix. It didn't seem to be any lag on the start there, and everyone seems to have got away reasonably well. But here comes the slipstream, the incredibly OP slipstream on this game. Ollie Bob's going side by side with Sinan. Luke's going through the middle. We're going to go on the outside. It's 4 wide down into turn 1. We brake way too late there. We're going to hit someone surely, and yeah, Ollie Bob comes across and hits us there, and we are last. And that is the last thing we wanted. We wait for everyone to go through before turning the car around. And I mean, I was a bit optimistic on the brakes, and yeah, it probably was bad to go in that late in lap 1, but to be honest, I was making the corner, and if Ollie Bob hadn't hit me, then it would have been all good. But oh well, no one else got damage or lost time. I didn't even get any damage, but lost time apart from me, so it's all good. So Lane has spun out there at turn 4, so we're up into P15, and Kimmy's has gone wide there, so we're now up into P14 here. So we've avoided any other lap 1 carnage by being involved in turn 1, but we have gone from fighting for the lead to now being down in 14th, a good few seconds off, as Drastic Midget is now in the wall, so that's always fantastic. The Silent Mole is actually winning the race at the moment. We'll see if he holds on to that as we now head around the final corner. And now the other midget, the Mighty Midget, has disconnected, so that's not ideal for him, as we're now on the back of Prototype Budgie. He's lagging a little bit as well, not ideal. We're going to go up the inside into turn 1, easy move there, really, and we should be able to pull back onto the racing line before turn 2 to claim the position, as we now claim the apex of turn 2 there very nicely, and we're now up into P12, so that's lovely. Skipping on to lap 2 later on, and Kimmy's has retired from the session. I'm not sure what happened. I'm guessing he lost it on the curb and hit the wall or something. But we're now coming down towards the Sector 2 split, and there's a car off as K Gibbs. He's clearly spun or something. I did watch his highlights, but it was about 2 months ago, so I can't exactly remember what happened to him, but I'm guessing he had contact with someone to be in that position. So now we're up into P11, so that's fantastic. Next up is the Mighty Midget, who has now rejoined, but he's lost a lot of time. And skipping on to lap 4, it's got even worse for him, as he's now out of the race, sitting on the racing line through turn 3 there, and Clippers Jack lost the back end and just unfortunately tapped him into the wall. Bad luck for Midget there. And he's out of this race, but that does now mean we're in the points. We skip to the start of lap 5. We're now behind Elusive Kev in the Sauber, and we're going to have DRS. It's going to be, it's going to be a very easy move as we head down towards turn 2, and we're up into P9. Next up is the Manor Driver Clippers Jack. I believe it's his debut this race, but I'm probably wrong. I can't quite remember, but we're going to be hoping to get past him as soon as possible and move ourselves up into P8. Sipping onto lap number 7 now. We're in the DRS of Clippers Jack, but there's an absolutely massive train ahead with Sam Worthy and Vapid Coot. So this is the battle for P5, really. Is it P5? Yes, P5. And Sam and Worthy are currently going side by side through turn 3. Sam is trying really hard to keep Worthy behind. He's actually doing a fantastic job of it. As you can see, a bit of lag there from Clippers, which made me lose concentration for a second, or have to correct the wheel just in case he was coming back into me. And Sam manages to maintain the position ahead of Worthy, and now Vapid's having a look as well. So it's all getting very congested. Very good action up here in the midfield, whereas the top 4 have cleared off. I think Ollie, Bob, Sinan, Casey and Luke, they're off as we've corner cut there. Didn't get a warning, and we're going to go for the move on Clippers Jack. I really hope I back out of this, to be honest, because it wouldn't be the most legit move, but we've gone for it anyway, around the outside of that corner, as we're now on the DRS. He'll have DRS as well, because he definitely would have been within a second of Vapid, but we've actually taken the position. I'm not particularly happy about that. Hopefully he gets it back into here, because that was, in my opinion, probably a dodgy move. We've run deep anyway, so he'll take the position back there, and it's all good in the end of the day. As we're now going to still try and go side by side into this chicane. I'd say it's a chicane, but he hangs it nicely around the outside. Good driving from the Manor Driver there. And we remain stuck in P9, but then he dives into the pits at the end of the lap anyway. So we now move up into P8, and we need to hunt down Vapid to get back on that DRS train behind Sam and Worthy, as we start lap 8 now, and it's taken us a lap and a half, and we've caught back up to the Force India driver. Sam and Worthy still battling out ahead, as we're going to have a look at Vapid on this DRS straight, but there's a lag spike there, and Vapid almost brake checking me, but then I realised it's his AI, because I've disconnected here. I've had the thing where everyone goes into their own lobby, and that's well, no, I go into my own lobby and everyone else stays in the main one, so we're going to have to try and rejoin. But I did actually disconnect from Xbox Live, so it took me a couple of laps to get back in, and as you can see now on lap 11 we have rejoined, and as soon as I rejoin I see a proximity arrow. Sam's right behind me. He's actually pitted for the soft tyres, so I've lost a pit stop in 2 laps. That's really good. Whatever difficulty the AI were on, they are very slow. But yeah, basically we've lost a pit stop from disconnecting, and unlike in the F1 League, the rain isn't coming till much later, so I don't think I'll be able to stretch out the super softs as they're already on 52%. So we're gonna come in at the end of this lap, get out of this traffic, and hopefully find somewhere where we can push by ourselves. Hopefully some clean air as we now dive into the pit lane to put on a set of soft tyres. I'm still not confident whether the rain is actually going to come in time for it to be necessary to use the inters. There we go, words. So we're going to play it safe. We're going to go on the soft, and we're now down into P10 behind K Gibbs, ahead of Sir Lane, although I think he's in the pit lane behind us as Drastic Midget goes past as we exit the pit. So we're out of the points, which is glorious, but now we have a virtual safety car. Not particularly sure why, no one retired. But our Delta's well in the green here, and I see Drastic Midget slow. At this point I'm raging, so I just go past him, and apparently that was a legitimate overtake. I'm not sure if that's allowed in real life. I would have thought that maybe you can actually do that in real life. So Drastic Midget goes back through, but we have to take that back. So I mean, I think that was actually legitimate. I reckon you can actually do that in real life if the Delta permitted it, which ours just about did, even though we did go into the red after we passed him. But yeah, the virtual safety car's ending, and we've actually done it quite well, and we're going to remain ahead of Drastic here. So we're up into P10, up into the points with a creative overtake on Drastic Midget there. And we now need to hunt down the rest of the field. Galvanic Gamer has bottled the pit entry there, and he pulls into the pits at the end of lap number 14. So we move up into 9th as we set a personal best in the process. Next up is K Gibbs. The gap's actually lying to us, I think, because we disconnected, so I'm not sure how far up the road he actually is. Coming to the end of lap 15, our pace is actually really good, and that is confirmed if we set the fastest lap of the race, which doesn't happen very often. I think I've got like 3 fastest laps in my entirely racing career. Well, not that few, but less than 10, I'd say. Anyway, virtual safety car comes out again, I think for no reason again, unless someone was just retired, because we are now down to 13. So that's really good. And the virtual safety car's about to end, then it's in the worst place possible for us on a straight, as we cannot take advantage of the glitch, which is in this game, which apparently has actually been fixed for 2017. So that's good. And we have now finally caught up to the back of K Gibbs on lap number 18, and we're going to be trying to overtake the Mercedes driver to get up into 8th place and give ourselves 2 more points if we were to finish there. As you can see, it had got brighter in the middle of the race, but it's now starting to cloud over again, and we are now up past the Mercedes driver. We've finally made the apex of that corner whilst making an overtake, and we are into position 8. As you can see, Sinnan's only just crossed the line, so if without our disconnect, I reckon we could have genuinely be battling for the podium in this race. But oh well, these kind of things happen, and we now need to work on hunting down Vapid for position 7 as we come across the line to start lap number 19 here. As skipping later on onto lap 19, we have caught Vapid, and we're going to be looking to pass him on the second DRS straight here. We're going to get the DRS now, and hopefully we can get this move done nice and easy. We're going to go to the outside, which will be the outside this kink, but it does give us the inside for the hairpin, but it doesn't matter, we've cleared him. If we can get the car stopped, which we can't, we've locked up, we've gone slightly deep. Vapid's going to try and cut back on us, and then hang it around the outside of this left hand. If he can, that's a very impressive move, and we're still going to go side by side into here. He's still side by side with us, and we're going to run side by side through the whole chicane there, and hopefully we have better traction on the exit. Indeed we do. So we have managed to hold off Vapid there. Good little defence from him, but to no avail, sadly, for him, as we're now up into P7. Next up is Clippers Jack, and apparently the gap's 7 seconds. I don't think that's entirely true. I think the gap is about 2 seconds out, so I think it's only 5 seconds. But we'll be hoping to hunt down the Manor driver and maybe put some moves on him. But the rain is coming, and it's going to be starting to rain very soon as we've run very deep into turn 1. Meanwhile, Kagan was managed to get past Vapid, and we were not under pressure at all into turn 2 there, luckily. As you can see, skipping 2 laps later, we've caught Clippers. We're almost in DRS now, and that is impressive. I'm not sure what the gap says. Whatever it says, it's wrong, and we have actually got DRS, so we were within a second. And this is going to give us an opportunity to close up to the Manor driver. Some nice sun glare on the screen. That's really good. As we head down towards turn 2, we're pretty close. We've slid past the apex of turn 2, and you probably can't see it because the screen's so dark, but there is some rain on my car, so it has started to rain at this point. I don't think it's time for the intermediates yet, but I think we're only a lap or so away as we come through turn 4. We've got a fantastic exit off there. We might actually try it up the inside into turn 5, and this is not normally an overtaking spot. We've gone up the inside and he's turned in. Cheers. So yeah, we've been taken out there, and then we've bottled the rejoining, so we have to let Vapid and K-Gibbs through. And we've lost even more time. And yeah, I mean, I didn't take it to the stewards because I couldn't really be bothered. I'm only a reserve, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was possible that I was behind on his screen and I was desynced or something, but oh well. These things happen, and I'm not too bothered, as we now come into the pits at the end of lap 22. So we've decided it is wet enough for the inters. Jeff told me earlier in the lap that it wasn't worth changing tyres yet, but I've gambled. I reckon Sinan will come in next lap, so I don't want to get held up in the pits. We might as well take the risk. We're not going to lose anything drastic. Midget and Solane are so far behind, so let's chuck on the inters. Let's see what we can do. K-Gibbs came in with us, whereas Vapid and Clippers stayed out, so it'll be interesting to see whether we gain on those two. And we've almost binned it on the pit, so that's great. But yeah, we just managed to hold it there as we now head out of the pit lane down towards turn number 2. Can we get this breakdown? How's the car feeling? Doesn't look great. How's the traction? Doesn't look great. So yeah, I reckon we have come in a lap too early for these inters, but I reckon at some point on this lap they will become the best tyre. So it was a dice up between lap 22 and 23 for me, and I decided to go lap 22. As you can see, that we had a lot of turning into that corner. We've run to Narnia on the exit. But yeah, I think I've got these tyres working about now. I've managed to actually get the car turned into that corner as an understeered by a boat. And I think now you're going to see DRS is disabled about now. There you go. And this now means that Inter is the tyre of choice, and Sinan comes into the pits at the end of lap 23. So that's good. I think we did make the right call, to be honest, as now skipping onto the start of lap 24. We're caught right up to K-Gibbs. He's struggling to get his tyres up to temperature as quickly as we did, and we're going to have a slipstream as we head down towards turn 2. Vapid and Clippers have joined ahead, but Vapid is now very close to Clippers, so we could have a four-way battle here, 4P6. We have a look up the inside of K-Gibbs, but we're not confident enough on the inters as of yet, so we don't try the move, and we leave him to have a look at Vapid as we head through turn 3 now. Will he go up the inside into turn 4? No, he's too far back. I almost did a crofty there, but he has run wide in turn 4. This is going to give us an opportunity to go up the inside, and we have got that done, I think, well before turn 5. We're going to be able to take the race in line there, so that was, I think, must have been a mistake. He must have got caught up on the exit curve, which has just given us a much superior exit there, and we're now up into P8. So next up, Vapid in the Force India for P7. Can we get him done quickly and then get after Clippers, which would be a good result for me? I would definitely take 6th, considering we lost 20 seconds from the disconnect. Well, around 20 seconds. As we're now right on the back of Vapid. Our pace on these inters is just far superior to all of these drivers around us, it seems, as we're now going to go past him. A similar move to what we did earlier. Can we get the car stopped in the inters conditions? I think we actually have done it a lot better, although we've run deep again. He's going to try the cutback again. Can he hang it around the outside of here? No, he can't, but he's going for the cutback for the second corner in the row. Can he go up the inside into the chicane? He's going to brake later than us, but he's gone too deep there. We just delay the turn in and we take the position, and K-Gibbs might take it as well. So yeah, good move from us there. Patient driving with Vapid, trying to get us back to allow us to take the position and not get involved in an accident. As you can see, lap 26, we've caught up to Clippers. It took us a while this time. His pace on the inters was better than it was on the dries. As we're going to have a look up the inside into turn 2. Once again, no confidence in the inters, trying not to kill anyone basically, and so we don't go for that move. But skipping on to the DRS, well, obviously no DRS, but the second DRS straight, if it was enabled on the lap, and we're right on the back of the Manor driver. We've got a better exit. Are we going to be able to make a move into the hairpin? We're going to go for the outside this time of the hairpin. It would be a difficult move. We're going to try it though. We seem to be ahead, but he's going to dive it back up the inside. We've run deep actually, and he's going to take the position there. We're going to go side by side through this left-hander. Who's going to get on the power better? Not us. We've had to save the car multiple times there. Still going to try and get up the inside of the chicane now. He's going to hang it around the outside there, and he's managed to get the move done. So, or defend the position successfully. So great driving from the Manor there, and this is getting quite frustrating for us. Apparently he does have a penalty, but I do want to beat him on track. But if we can't, we'll still get 6th anyway, unless we get binned off again. So last lap now. I think we're going to stay on board for the entirety of this lap to see if we can get past the Manor driver. Are we going to be able to have another go into turn 2? We need to be right up his inside, to be honest, if I'm going to make the move stick. Well, he's actually defending the inside. We're going to go for the outside, the racing line now as we head into the corner. He's on the inside there. He's defended that quite well. Sort of gone in deep to block us, even able to hang it around the outside. How we've had to back out of that. So good driving from the Manor. At the time, I was quite annoyed at how aggressive it was, but fortunately, to get back, it was some very fair driving, apart from the bit earlier where he turned in us. But we'll gloss over that one. And I did thoroughly enjoy this battle. So Jack, if you are watching, it was quite a fun race about 3 months ago. So yeah, we've only got 2 sectors left now to try and get past the Manor, but he's bottled that corner. We're going to try and go around the outside into turn 7. Surely not. I don't think we're going to be able to pull that off. No, we can't. He defends his position robustly but fairly, as we've only got a few more overtaking opportunities left. We're going to have to try into the hairpin at the end of sector 2 once again, but he's got a good run off that corner. Coming down into turn 9, 10, I don't know. Are we going to have the run? We're going to have the slipstream, that's for sure. Not sure how we don't have slipstream glitch. There's a surprise, but we appear to have the slipstream. We're going to have to make a move here. Sinan's won the race. Congrats to him, first win of the season. As we're going to try and hang it around the outside into this corner. And he's just managed to hold it inside. Great driving from him, to be fair. And he's defended his position, but it doesn't matter because he does have penalties. And I think he got a post-race penalty as well for the collision with Midget on lap number 4. We're going to try one last time with the cut back off the chicane. We've got a much better exit up the inside into the penultimate corner maybe, but he's pulled across on us there. We've got front wing damage, and he's managed to hold off the position. A very exciting last lap there, and we're going to come home to take P7, which will be promoted to P6, and also P5 because Ollie Bob had penalties which got removed. So the full results will be on screen now. Congrats to Sinan on the win, his first win of the season. A Renault 2-3, Luke got lagged into, so it's very unlucky. Ollie Bob's penalties got removed, so he kept 4th. Sam in 5th, myself in 6th in the end, with Caleb 7th, Vapid 8th. Clippers Jack getting demoted to 9th due to penalties, and Sir Lane in 10th. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy that race. Very fun for me to take part in, and hopefully my commentary showed that. And I'll see you for the next FormulaXbox race that I attend, which will be Monaco, or maybe Italy in the F1 League, depending on whether I've already uploaded that. I don't really know what the schedule is, but I'll see you in the next video, which will be very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.